but I don't want to go into too much, Jerry. I want to
Yep.
save what you and I spoke about for a later training where you have more time. But what I would love is if you could give one piece of advice in your experience inside or outside the industry that could help everybody before I go into training. But I'm also going to tell Willie's story like Sherry asked, but I'd love to catch you before you have to go.
That's great. I appreciate that. I'm on grandfather duties today. And the thing that has struck me is a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. He said, "Far better it is to dare mighty things like Black Diamond, to win glorious triumphs like walk across the stage, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits that neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory or defeat." So I'd rather try and, like Muzaffar said, make mistakes, get back up, because I do not want to be known as a person who's living on in the gray area of life. Bob Proctor told me one time, uh, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room. So I'm happy to be here. And guys, I do have to run, but I just know if he's going to talk about Willie Meyer, enough said. He doesn't live in that twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. So I can just tell you that that's the best part about being around this crowd, man. We're all pulling for the same thing, wanting to do more, have more, and be more. And I couldn't be prouder of all of you for being here and be part of this whole movement to make a difference. But right now, I have marshmallows to go and give to my grandson. See ya.
Love it, brother. I love it. I love it. And appreciate you, my friend. And congrats on everything that's happening. You have one of the most incredible organizations, Jerry, with some of the most talented people that you have brought to this community. And Sherry and I and Isaac and everybody will forever be grateful. You know, a lot of you are here because he either introduced you or he introduced someone who introduced you. And it's an amazing feeling. And others of you are here because Sherry introduced you or introduced someone who introduced you, or you're part of the Viago family and you're like, wherever I can join, I want to join. And that means that I introduced someone that introduced someone that introduced you. And so either way, you're here by purpose. And you know, you're in purpose and on purpose. And I'm excited that you're here. Right. And the story about Willie, you know, one of the things that I want you to understand is that not only did he get injured when he was deployed, you know, serving, he was told he'd never walk again. And he has very limited use of his arms and his legs, very limited use. And I see the guy on Zooms putting a pen in his mouth and taking notes, when people have great arms and great legs that aren't. And I see people that, you know, Willie, the last couple calls, he had to do a testimonial with his camera off. And Sherry and I found out why. He's sick in bed, like pretty bad. And you wouldn't notice by his testimonial. And I have people that when they have the flu, they don't show up on Zooms. They'll never do a testimonial. They don't even text people back. They go into hibernation mode when they've got the flu, or when people are going through life challenges. And all of us either are, or we have, or we know someone that is going through life. But I'm going to tell you right now, Willie would trade his life challenges for yours. I'm just telling you right now, and no one can sit here on this Zoom and say I'd trade my life challenges for his, because I don't know anyone that wants to give up use of their arms and their legs. I'm just telling you right now. And so to see him, it's an inspiration for even me. You know, when I'm sitting there going, hey, man, listen, that dude is getting, you know, people on Zooms. He's showing up at the training. He's already finished 10-10. Like, like when you see someone like that that's finished 10-10 and they've gotten their 6, it's kind of like, what's our excuse? You know what I mean? And when I see Sherry at 72, that is, you know, inviting and inviting and inviting and inviting. I look at anybody that's not 72, which I can't believe I'm about to say Patricia doesn't fall in that category. But like I'm just gonna say Patricia and Sherry are the same age. They're mutants in a good way, like beautiful mutants. You guys do like this. I don't know. Anyways, the point is that I'm just gonna put them in the same category. But if they're on Zooms, they're on camera, they take the extra time to make sure they look good and they're presentable and they're classy and they're sharp. What excuse do we have? Like seriously, what excuse do we have? And you know, to show up and to turn our camera on and to take notes and to give energy. If we just do this over the next few years, right? What's our life really going to be like? Like I was in and what I love about Josephi and Ben is we're in a thread. And, you know, something came up about a want. And I'm not going to put anybody's business out there because sometimes if I say they want this, other people go, well, why? You know, what if they did this? It's funny. I was in Europe and I went to go negotiate a watch. And I negotiated this watch. And I put it on social media, just a picture of it. And I said, this is what I negotiated the watch to. I never said I bought it, but I said I negotiated the watch from $358,000 to $285,000. And that's what I negotiated. I never bought the watch, right? But I want you to understand something. I took a picture of it. I put it on Facebook. And I said, this is what I negotiated. Here's my question for you. If time and money were not an issue in your life, would you buy this watch or would you use the money elsewhere? And for fun and have fun with this. Like I did this whole thing for fun. And I got people posting going, how dare you buy a watch at that price when people are struggling out? Like I'm going, oh my God. And other people were responding going, he said to have fun and he never said he bought the watch. And so the reason I'm telling you all this is sometimes people's private goals are their private goals and what they want to achieve. You don't know if someone is helping nonprofit organizations and they have enough money to do that as well as buy themselves a watch, right? And so many of us judge when we shouldn't judge. And I'm just here to tell you that I love being in threads. Like Sherry's saying, we're having a chance to talk now, but I also love having a chance to dream. I love, you know, when I was in this thread with Ben and Josephi and we're talking about certain things and they're like, well, I want this one. And I wrote in there going, well, I want this one. And the point is that those are fun conversations too. So, you know, a long time ago, Sherry said to me to dream big because small dreams have no magic. And having a big dream, right? Having a big dream without a roadmap and a plan, the dream just becomes a wish. But when you have a dream, God doesn't give you the ability to dream for something without the ability to go achieve it. I believe everyone on this Zoom has the ability to achieve whatever you're dreaming. However, if you have a dream and you don't have a plan and a vehicle to achieve it, it becomes a wish. If you do have a vehicle and a plan in place, then the dream becomes a goal. And it's something you can accomplish. And I believe what Josephi and Ben and I were, and Sherry ended up chiming in that thread, but I mean, it's kind of a weird one to see Sherry chime in on that because she already had one. So you know, she had one. I have a picture of it. And the point is that And some of you guys are going, had one what? Okay, listen, I'm not trying to be ambiguous on what they said, unless they want to bring it up. So, but
Rolls Royce. It's a Rolls Royce.
It's a Rolls Royce, and they're not saying they want it tomorrow, but they're saying they're gonna have one. And I said, me too. Like, let's. So the point is, I just want you guys to know that it's okay to have things. It's okay to have nicer things in life. And it's also okay to help those that are in need. And it's also okay to do both. So your life is your choice. Your book hasn't been fully written yet. Your next chapter is wide open and it's a blank page. However, we got work to do. Like if you're on this Zoom, I want to talk to you about how to teach and train others on how to get this thing off the ground. Sherry, I know you wanted me to cover Willie's story. Is there anything else you wanted to add before I go into this?
Yes, I want to do a shout out to Isaac, who is a brand new ambassador who is on this call. And got to talk to him yesterday. He saw your presentation and he's just signed up, and he's excited about seeing the 7 steps. So for all of you, just keep acknowledging your people. Remember that. Muzaffar said this, and I wrote it down. Those we celebrate duplicate. So it's like this is, if everyone started thinking about this as not just Viago, this is your business. You got to start a business for $500, which when you look at what I started my other business for, $1.5 million, I already got my return back my first week with this business. It's going to take me 2 to 3 years to get that back with when you look at a traditional business. So, and I know Josephi and Ben know all about this because she's written books about business. So when you start looking at, we have the most amazing opportunity, but own it. We shouldn't have to remind you to get on calls. We shouldn't have to remind you to take trainings and invite guests and all this kind of stuff. But it's the baby steps in the beginning. You have to do that until they own their business. I never call Rika and ask her to get on a call. I never have to, because guess what? She's always there. And that's something that when you get someone like that, cherish him, because that's a leader. So that's all I wanted to say.
No, I appreciate it. And it's so funny, right? Like and welcome, Isaac, man. It's a pleasure to meet you. And a friend of Dave's is a friend of mine. He's a great guy, and I'm glad you're a part of this business. And I can't wait to get a chance to talk to you more. So welcome, my friend. I want you to hear, like, really absorb what Sherry said, and then I'm going to go into the 7 steps. You know how many times she said on a presentation, she invested 1.5 million into a business, and she turned it over to her husband and her son, and she's Viago full time. And a lot of people thought that's crazy. Okay. And I want you to think about this. Listen to what she said. 3 years minimum before she breaks even on that business. How smart is Sherry to go, hey, you guys go work your butt off to break even. I'm going to work my butt off to go Black Diamond and be a plus 85 grand just from one bonus. So when you add in everything else, she'll be over 100 grand a month. So in Sherry's mind, she's going, you guys go work to break even. I'll go work to profit 1.2 to 1.3 million a year in this business. So when people go, what was she thinking? She steps ahead of everyone already when she says it with so much pride and joy, and people go, that's weird. Not when you really understand. Sherry figured it out really quickly. And she said, if I go give this business everything I've got, or I go give that business everything I got, that business will break me even. After 3 years minimum, this business will profit me over $1 million a year. And she knows she can go black diamond in 12 months or less. She knows it. That's the difference. And what she's realized is and I know this is a little off subject really quickly because I'm going into the 7 steps, but I got to show you this because you guys don't talk to Sherry like I do, and you don't know her like I do. And so I'm going to show you how her brain works, right? She knows she's going to be a black diamond, but I want you to understand, Sherry heard this concept a long time ago. And that's, if I gave you $1 million today, or the option of me doubling 1 penny for 31 days, you either choose A or you choose B. And most people, you're looking at this maybe like it's a trick question. It is. And so your brain is telling you to choose B because you're going, maybe it's a trick and he's going to show something. But then your logic is going, a penny doubled every day for 31 days cannot beat that. And so maybe I should choose that. And I'm telling you right now, this young lady, Sherry Sharman, that was a preschool teacher making $11,000 a year, learned this industry faster than most people when she figured out the power of multiplication. Most people don't know that a penny doubled on day 31 is over $10 million. But day 1, it's a penny. Day 2, you're at 2 pennies. Day 3, you're at 4. Day 4, you're at 8. Day 5, you're at 16. Day 6, you're at 32. Day 7, you're at 64. Day 8, you're at $1.28, 128 pennies. And most people would give up and regret not taking this because they didn't finish. You finish it, you're here. Sherry's not looking at her month 4 or 5 right now. What she's looking at is her month 12, her month 14, her month 18, where her business will be. I need you to think beyond the beginning of this business when you are in addition. You've got to work the business until you get to multiplication. Multiplication. Yes, I think I spelled that right. And this is, and I'm just teaching this right now because I'm hoping that you have an aha moment of this blonde California lady that seems really sweet with dolphins behind her all the time. And she's always complimenting people and man, she is a shark. She ain't a dolphin, man. She is like, she is smart. She knows business. She is a beast. And she figured it out really fast. And that's why she's working round the clock. And that's why, because she's going to get it out of the way. Do you know where I learned there's 2 ways to build this business? 2 ways. One is fast and the other is painful. Sherry's always opted for fast. Most of us do painful in many things in life. One last thing before I get into the 7 steps, because now my brain is spinning. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You either, please write this down, and I would do this as I either, but I'm saying you either pay the price now or later. Mm-hmm. And there's 2 parts to this. Pay the price now or later. Either way, the price will be paid. But here's a promise. Later will be more expensive. And I hope you think about that in many areas of your life. I'm telling you that this young lady has made the decision to pay the price now and she'll finish Black Diamond. Like, she will finish Black Diamond. I have zero doubt. Like, if there was, I don't gamble. Like, I've never even put money in a slot machine. I've never gambled on it. I don't. It's against my religion. I don't gamble. It's just me. I don't drink alcohol. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never done drugs. I don't even do hookah. Like, I don't even, like, I don't drink coffee. Maybe I'm a mutant myself. The point is that there's one thing that I would put money on, that Sherry's going Black Diamond. Because I know she'll do the work. I know she'll go through the pain. I know that she will pay the price now. I know that she will work until multiplication. I know it. Like, I know it. And there's very few, because when it gets tough and you're staring at addition and everyone's looking at your business and they're like, you've been doing this for 9 weeks. Have you made any money yet? I don't understand. Why are you doing this? You've been going to training after training. Have you made any money yet? You should have just taken the job. Why would you do Viago? My God, it's been how long? You're only at $5? There's only 20 days left in the month. What were you thinking? Trust me, it comes to 10 million. Either you can do the math or I can do the math. One thing I can promise you, when it comes to numbers, I don't make a mistake. Mm-hmm. Now, here's what I want you to know. This right here is the beginning. The 7 steps to duplication will help you duplicate this business. Learning the 7 steps is one thing. Learning how to teach it is something else. And then learning how to teach someone to teach is something else. So there's 3 parts. Learn it, learn how to teach it, and learn how to teach how to teach it. Wow, Muzaffar, that sounds really good. Got that one from Sherry too. Listen, this is like, before she started working with me, I sounded really cool. I really did, man. Like, I said all this stuff and everybody was like, wow, man, Muzaffar he's got all the answers. With her here, he's got yeah, that one's another Sherry. That one, yeah, that one there is her. Every once in a while, there's a Muzaffar original. Every once in a while. There's some Muzaffarisms that will come out every once in a while. I got some Muzaffarisms, I promise you. But most of them I duplicated somebody else, just so you know. And she's a good one to duplicate. So step number 1 is, I tell this to everyone all the time, is you got to make this decision. Step number 1 is the decision. And the decision is to finish the business. This is the decision. And I really want you to understand that I'm teaching this. I teach it to everyone around the world. I just got done teaching this in Colombia. And then I did a call for Japan, and I taught this to our Japanese friends. And I want you to know something, that step number 1 is the decision to finish. In Japanese, it's ketsudan, is the decision. Kanryo means to complete. It's better to use the word complete in Japanese than it is to, and same thing in Spanish. But this right here, and yes, I did this for some of y'all are wondering if I'm writing in Japanese. It's me writing in Japanese, but don't be too impressed. I don't speak Japanese. I speak Google Translate really, really good. That's my buddy, Google Translate. And I'm a guy that can look at something and then draw it out. All right. Number two is, why are you doing this and what do you want from it? You have to do this with every person that signs up in your business. So even Isaac being here, who's brand new, number one, I would be going through this with Isaac. And then I would be, when Isaac starts to introduce people, I would be going through this with Isaac's people. So he's watching me do this with his team. Down the road, Isaac's going to do this with his people's people. Please write this down, everyone. Everything I do and don't do duplicates. Everything I do and don't do duplicates. Okay, so why? Now, if you're on Zoom and you have your camera on, which if you have a team that's on Zoom, you should always have your camera on because that's your team. And then if you have your camera on and you have people in your team on Zoom, you want them to see you doing this because the box is small. So if I'm obviously my camera is showing, but I'm going to show you all something. And this is not a normal 7-step, Sherry. I'm sorry, but this is kind of like an advanced training. But if I'm sitting here like this and I'm watching the Zoom and I'm doing this right now, you don't know I'm taking notes because I'm looking kind of straight. I don't have much movement if I'm doing this, but I'm taking notes, but there's very little movement. So what I do is you'll always see me raise my hand where there's a pen in my hand and you'll see me do something like this. Oh. And I'll do that. So then people watching me go, oh man, Muzaffar took notes on something. Whatever, what was just said that Muzaffar's taking notes on. Because my team's going, man, if Muzaffar's taking notes on something, that something's got to be important. And that's what they need to do when they see you. And I'm not saying to lie or be fake. If you're not taking notes, don't take notes. But if you're taking notes like I always take notes, you'll see me go, oh, and I'll write that one down. And I'll go, oh, that was good. And you'll see me do things like this with a pen in my hand. So everybody goes, oh, he's taking notes. Anyways, let me go back to our 7 steps. Sorry, guys. Some of you have, I'm trying to feed everyone. Some of you have seen this multiple times, so I'm giving you extra. Some of you, this is your first time and you're getting bonus training. I don't know what to tell you, but you're getting some advanced stuff. So you're welcome. And so why and what? So I teach everybody that what you need to do is write this down. You need to write this down. And so many people don't write down what they want. And be specific. Be specific on what you want. Okay, I'll tell you this. So many people aren't specific in asking for what they want. And what you ask for to the universe, it will deliver if you ask for it wholeheartedly and you pump energy into what you want. See, whatever you give energy to expands, whether it's positive or negative, just so you know. And I read this to Sherry yesterday, and it's actually a perfect place for me to say it today. And it was a poem. Man, Sherry's like, we bounce stuff off of each other. And I go, Sherry, do you remember this poem? And I read it to her and she was like, oh my God, I haven't heard that in a long time. But it came from when she talked about asking for what you want, writing down, being specific. When Ben and Josephi and I were on a thread, we were being specific on what we wanted, right? But I'll tell you right now, there's no more effort that's required to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than is required to accept misery or poverty. So there's no more effort. It's the same effort to accept prosperity. It's the same effort to aim high. It's the same effort to demand abundance from the universe. Same effort as it is to accept misery, and poverty. Same effort. And a great poet wrote this: I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. All right, hold on. I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged at evening when I counted my scanty store. And that's a store where everything is diminishing. Just so you know, where you're running out of things and it's getting less and less and less. For life is a just employer. A just, that like, to be just means to be fair. Like, right? He gives you what you ask. But once you have set the wages, why, you must bear the task. I worked for a menial's hire only to learn, dismayed, that any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid. But most of us don't ask. I told Sherry, I said, I wish when I read this, I wish I would have asked for $100,000 a month and negotiated it and went after it a long time ago. And it's not the money, it's what I could do with the money. Just so you understand. Because I'm a phenomenal negotiator. And I negotiated for my wage, and life gave it to me because I negotiated hard for it, and it gave it to me because I worked for a menial's hire only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have happily, willingly paid if I would have asked for it. And so many of us fall in that category where we've never written down exactly what we wanted, and we've never asked for it, and we've never gone after it, and we've never any of that. Just so you understand. So I'm telling you right now, it's worth your time, effort, and energy to write down what is it that you want. Because whatever you ask for, you're going to get it. And whatever you don't ask for, they'll give you what they think you're worth. So because of this, I then go over here and I tell somebody that's new, I want to help you have stability. Nowhere in the poem or nowhere in the information does it say that someone that you're working for will ask for you, negotiate for you. You have to do it. So I show people stability residually through a residual income. And I always go, this right here is you, this is the rank, and this is the income. And I was having a good conversation with Dr. Grace's son before this call, Corey, and you know, he was like, Muzaffar, there's a lot of things that you do in US dollars, you know, and for us, you know, we need it, you know, in Canadian dollars. And he's right. And so right now, you know, because we have people from Kenya, from UK, from US, from Canada, from, you know what I mean? Like different places. I do stick with US, so bear with me on it. But when you teach and train, and if you're talking to Canadians, then do it in Canadian dollars. If you're talking to people in Europe, do it in euros. This is something that you know, we all have to do. When I talk to my Japanese friends, I show things in yen. Because that's what's important to them. Does that mean that I have to be extra prepared? Yes. Does that mean that I have to learn the information? Yes. But people don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. I was talking with our friends in Singapore. Me and Sherry were on a call with our friends in Singapore, and I learned Kiasu, Kiasi. Kiasu, Kiasi. And that is a dialect called Hokkien that they speak. Kiasu, Kiasi means scared to lose and scared to die. So many people are scared to lose things, but they don't do anything about it, and then they're scared to die. Like, it's a saying over there, Kiasu, Kiasi. And when I said it back and I wrote it down, the lady lit up because I took an interest in her culture, in her language. And I hope that you learned from that, right? So anyways, let's go back to this. This right here is you. So if I was, let's say we go back to Isaac, who's new here. And I said, Isaac, listen, what is it that you want? And so let me show you something. My goal, then I go and I'd say my goal, Isaac, is for you to have a stable income that comes in whether you work or not, and that's residual. And what I want to do is show you how this works. This is based on the $99 membership. When you have 5 people that keep the membership on your left team and 5 people on your right team. And the reason I call it left-right, because we only build 2 teams. And so I look at it like 2 arms or 2 legs, however you want to call it, but left-right. This makes you a bronze, or a new name is, this makes you a Ben and Josephi, right? I'm just kidding, but I'm proud of you guys for finishing bronze, right? I know Josephi's like, don't ever call me a bronze again, because I'm not going to stay here long, Ms. Laffer. I'm sick of it. I know. That's why I said it. I'm gonna push your button till you go, don't ever call me that again. All right. So this right here starts the residual. Listen, you have to crawl before you walk. You have to, and this is USD, everyone. And we pay this monthly. Okay. When it gets to 1010, it being your sales organization, when the numbers get to 1010, when your team grows, when your team goes after their 6, when your team goes after 5-5, when your team grows, you are now a silver. And this increases. So you're not receiving 50 anymore. You're receiving 200. When your team grows to Jerry Robert, which is 25-25, who's a gold. And I know, see, here's what's funny is Josephi's like, I should be a gold. Jerry's like, man, I don't want to be a gold. I should be higher than that. And that's what makes us go-getters, all of us, right? It's like all of, and it's okay to strive, but I'll tell you, celebrate along the way. Celebrate it. Celebrate it. Do not ridicule it. Do not diminish it. Celebrate it. Because if you're ridiculing it, then people on your team will not want to achieve it. And if they don't want to achieve it, you're not going to grow anything. But if you're proud of being a bronze, because that's the first residual, you're proud of being club 6, right? If you're proud of being club 6, this will duplicate. Sherry's the most, but here's what's crazy. She's the most proudest person of being club 6 of anybody in the company. She showed that certificate more than anyone I work with in the whole company. The person that shows the certificate the most is Sherry. And I'm hoping you duplicate her on that process and be the person that shows your certificate. Show it. Be proud of it. Now, we never diminish the membership. We love the membership. But if you can get it for free, that's the best way to have it, right? So gold is $500 a month. Remember, this is only 1 out of the 5 ways we earn an income. 50-50, you jump to $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year as a sapphire. It's $12,000 a year. Then you get to 100, which is an emerald. and this is 2,000 a month, which is 24,000 a year. Then we get to 250, 250, which is 5,000 a month, which is diamond. And see, when you're a bronze, silver, and gold, you're going, I just want to be a diamond. Like, let me just get to $5,000 a month. I'll make you a promise. When you're a diamond, you're going to be like, Muzaffar, just don't promote me as a diamond yet, because I'm really close to blue diamond. So just wait till I get to blue. Like, it happens with all of us. But be proud of being a diamond. That's 60,000 a year residual income. And I'm going to tell you who's going to celebrate every one of these is Sherry. So I'm asking you to celebrate every area. Celebrate every part of your journey. 500 is a blue diamond, which is 10,000 a month. Remember, this is one out of the 5 ways we get paid. 1,000 is 20,000 a month. And this is a red diamond. 2,000 is 36,000 a month. And that is a purple diamond. And 5,000 is 85,000 a month. And this right here is a black diamond. Okay. It's a black diamond. So I would go back to Isaac and I would say, Isaac, what is it that you want? And what is it that you need? Most people want 85 grand a month, but let's just be real. It's not what you need right now. I mean, Ben and Josephi, you need this to get what you want, the car that we talked about, but you could probably get it sooner than that though. All right, anyways, we can talk about that later. The point is, what is it that you need right now? For most people, they're usually in this category right here. What will you do with the money? What will an extra 5,000 a month do for your household right now? What would you do with it every month? Be specific. Write it down. Number 3 is you need to make a list. You need to make a list. See, when you make a decision to finish this business and you decide why you're doing this and what you want from it, the better you have been with number 1 and number 2, the bigger number 3 becomes. But I have seen without a shadow of a doubt, people that have not done this correctly, this is small. It's always small. Like when somebody shows me their list, I look back and go, they haven't made a decision to finish this yet. That's okay. Like when you do, I get it. There's 2 types of lists. There's the big list and there's a concentrated list. The big list for me, I made a list of 500 right off the bat. And I did this for 2 reasons. One, for me, so I can always see people in front of me. Out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. The second reason I do this is because I take a picture of it. And so if I was talking to my friend Isaac, I would sit there and say, when the presentation is done, I'd say, Isaac, hey man, do you, can you open pictures while we're talking on the phone? Yeah, Muzaffar, I can. Great. Look at the picture I just sent you. What's this? It's my list. I just want you to know we're friends, we're boys, we're you know what I mean? Like, it's cool, but I want you to know with or without you, I'm building this. I got a list of 500 ready to go. I want you to be on top of it with me. But if you need to wait and come back and be in the middle, it's okay. And if you want to wait till after these people are already in, you can come then too. But either way, I'm building this thing. And people are more motivated by what they have to lose versus what they have to gain. People are more motivated by what they have to lose versus what they have to gain. So let me show you this. The second list is the concentrated list. That's because of advice from my mom, where she said, don't try and drink the ocean. If you try and drink the ocean, you will drown. Drink one bottled water at a time. So my concentrated list had 40. These are people I talked to my first day. Why did I talk to them my first day? Because Sherry told me that I could either build this business fast or painfully. And I wanted to go fast. 17 said yes. 23 said no. So if you hear more no's than yeses, you're in good hands. You're in good company. You're headed in the right direction. Why do I say all of this? Because the majority of people will hear more no's than yeses. And then I go, if you hear more yeses than no's, you're going to outdo me. Congratulations. And so that's number 3. Number 4 is to launch your business. And you can do more than one launch, everyone. You can do as many launches as you want to do. Because for new people, it's the first time they're seeing it, and you're launching your business. You can launch your business for a whole year, week after week, month after month. It's year 1. Most people know that most businesses don't get off the ground for a few years, and people are having launches and private launches and a relaunch and this. Like, you can launch your business as many times as you want to. And I tell people that we're going to invite folks. So you want to have 3 to 5 minimum, 7 to 10 if you're a go-getter at your launch. I'm teaching it in every language. Launching your business is bijanesu o tachiagero. That's Japanese for launching your business. Look, do you see it? Invite 3 to 5. If you're a go-getter, 7 to 10. I'm teaching the same. This is a system. And then what do? I set the date. So if I was doing this with just me and Isaac, I wouldn't set the date when I'm finishing number 4. I would finish the 7 steps and then come back and set the date. Okay. Number 5 is the presentation. So I'd say, Isaac, here's how it's going to go. The launch presentation, the first person to talk is going to be you. When the launch, if we do a Zoom or we do it at your house, it doesn't matter. We can do a travel party launch at your house. We can do one on Zoom if you've got people in multiple cities or countries that you want to invite. If we do it at your house, great. This is what you're going to say. If we do it on Zoom, great. This is what you're going to say. Number 1, like before you even start, the obvious, and it's really not a step, it should be obvious. You're going to welcome people because they're your friends. They're your contacts. Then the first thing you're going to say is why you're doing this. That's why you want to write out number 2. Be prepared. They need to hear why Isaac's doing this business. These are his contacts. Number 2 is that you're all in. If you don't tell the people you're showing this business to that you're all in, why would they join? Like, really, why? Number 3, they need to know this is a big deal. Number 4, they need to know with or without you're going to do this business. And number 5, you'll love them no matter what. And then, Isaac, what you're going to do is you are going to talk highly about Dave, because that's the person that introduced you. And then Dave's going to say why he's doing this. And Dave's going to tell everybody that if you like what Isaac loves, we can talk about partnering. And if not, I hope you support Isaac with referrals or be his customer. Dave will introduce the presenter. Printer? Can't even fit it in there. Presenter. See, you don't have to be able to spell correctly to work with us. I'm living proof of that. And number 4 is the close. This is how you help people start their business. Number 6 is training. These are the 7 steps to duplication, everybody. I don't want to work with someone that hasn't been trained. I don't want to work with someone that hasn't been trained. And it's one of the reasons why, like, I'll tell you, I was in Colombia and I got a great call from Ben. And Ben was just like, hey, Muzaffar, listen, I'm going to be doing what you're doing. I'm going to be training like you're training. I'm going to do whatever it takes to learn this. And I remember calling Sherry and Jerry, and I was like, I got a whole new respect level for this guy. Like, I really do. Like, his mindset is right. He wants to get trained. He wants to learn this. He wants to teach others. He wants to train others. And he was sitting at training in Atlanta, like all in, ready to go. But how are you going to train others unless you're willing to get, you can't unless you get trained first. And you have to make sacrifices to get trained. Ben was like, dude, where are you going next? I'm going Greece, Ben, let's go. I'm going Thessaloniki. We're doing a training. The guy that's doing the training with me, his name is Matt. Okay, look here, everyone. Black Diamond, 5,000, 5,000. Matt had a team of 2 million. In 13 years, he made $15 million. That compensation plan he was in was 1/10 as good as this one. This is 10 times stronger. With 2 million people, he was earning 250 grand a month. With 5,000 and 5,000, 10,000 people, it's 85 plus the other ways. You're probably around 110, 120. So double that, 10,000, 10,000. You're talking about 20,000 people. You're making the same money as he made for 2 million. Training. The one thing that I wish I would have done more of is gone to more trainings faster, more trainings faster. I would have flown to more trainings faster. If I was going to invest in anything, I would invest in my training, me getting trained, me being better faster. Because me being better faster means me getting results faster. Me getting results faster means that I get to what I want faster. Training. Okay, the next one that's coming is June 13 and 14. June 13 is going to be the presentation that we are going to do live from San Antonio. And June 14th is the regional training event, which is called RTE, Regional Training Event. If you're not in San Antonio, for the love of God, be uninterrupted at home. Uninterrupted. Be on the Zoom. Act as if you're in San Antonio. If you can get to San Antonio, get to San Antonio. Friday night will be a presentation in San Antonio. Right now, everybody should be looking for people in Texas or within driving distance of Texas. And you want to sign people up in Texas, I'm telling you, and then get them to training. Get your people trained next weekend. And then the other one is going to be in Greece. And that's going to be June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Hold on. 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Something just didn't sit right. That's why I had to look it up. 2021 and 22. Now, some of you are going, Muzaffar, I just can't make Greece. Great. Make sure you are on the virtual training on June 14th. Some of you are going, maybe we go to Greece. Come to Greece. Spend 2 days with me and Matt. But get trained. And then the next one after that is going to be in Ohio in September. But please, September. Please don't wait that long. Please don't wait that long. Training is the key to success. And number 7 is follow-up. Your fortune will be in your follow-up. Your fortune will be in your follow-up. If you don't talk to the people that you know, somebody else will. And that's a fact. Somebody else will. Everybody goes in and out of the looking zone. Like this. Some people are at such a low, they're not ready for Viago. Some people are ready to go. Some people are at such a high in their life, they're not ready for Viago, but everybody will go in and out of this thing called the looking zone. Some of you know our friend Shar. She had Ben and Josephi on her list. Never called them. Jerry did. Telling you right now, if you don't talk to the people that you know, somebody else will. It's a fact. Telling you. My fear is not somebody saying no. My fear is somebody saying yes to someone else. Listen, some people go, I don't want to talk to my friends and my family and people that I know because they're negative or they're this or they're that. Who cares? I'd rather everybody know what I'm doing and tell me no. Everybody, man, tell me no. Just tell me no, because there's 2 things that motivate me. Number 1 is when somebody tells me no, I'm going to make sure it's the worst decision you ever made in your life. Call me childish. Call me Sherry. I haven't matured like you probably hoped. I'm sorry. But it's I'm just saying, listen, Sherry tells everybody I've matured into this young businessman. Listen, there's still some parts of me that's immature. And I'm going to make sure everyone that tells me no regrets it for the rest of their life. I'm just telling you that every time they see the color green, they're going to cringe. Every time they hear the word go, they're going to think of Viago. Every time they think of flights and planes and vacations, they're going to go, man, I wonder. Every time, like, I want them to regret it so bad, they unfriend me on Facebook because they see everywhere that we're going and how much fun we're having. I want them to regret it so bad that I'm blocked on Facebook, like blocked, where they just go, I'm just sick of seeing Muzaffar so happy. Just telling you. And then there are people, my second thing is when people believe in me. When people believe in me like Sherry does, I will go out of my way to prove her right, to make sure she knows she made the best decision of her life. She bet on the right horse. The one thing she knows is I will go out of my way to make sure that her giving up her franchise to her husband and her son was the best decision she ever made. And that goes for all of you. I will make sure that this is the best decision of your life, just so you know. So listen, I know we started out having fun and we got intense. So we started at the beginning where everybody was talking and high-fiving and hugging and nice to see you. And that's Sherry, right? Like, she has this way of making everybody feel great. And then we got into a little bit of what Jerry said. And so we started a little bit later than planned. But I hope that you learned something and this added value for you today. No matter how many times you see it, ask yourself, how many times does Muzaffar teach it? How many times do I write it down? How many times do I talk about it? How many times must I have learned this information to now teach it? Look, I'll tell you this, right? There's so much in this business that people don't realize how important this business can be and what it could really do for your life. And I wish, Sherry and I talk about this all the time. Matt and I talked about this. I wish I could take my head off and just give it to you for a couple of days to use. Because what would happen is that you would have a whole different perspective on this business. And I'm going to share something with all of you because I know how people think after doing this for 30 years. And there's still doubt in people's mind when we explain information, because what happens is that people sometimes just question because that's what we've been taught to do. And I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, that I understand why people question. Because it's what we've been taught. So to put the doubt out of your mind, I did this just for you. Day 10, you're at $5. Day 11, just double it. 10, 20, 40, 80, $160. Let's go to day 16. You're at 320, 640, 1,280, 2,560, and $5,000 at day 20. You'll still be ridiculed and laughed at because $1 million is way better. 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 80,000, 160,000. You will still be laughed at, even with 160,000, because 1 million was better. 320,000, 640,000, 1,280,000, 2.5 million, 5 million on day 30, and 10 million on day 31. Right here is when people will say, I knew you could do it. I never doubted you for a minute. If anybody was going to do it, it was you. And then behind your back, it's they were lucky. It's only because, it's only because, and that's what they're going to say. The question is, have you made a decision to finish this? Or are you just willing to start with a prayer? This is not a lottery ticket. This is work. And if you're willing to go through the work to finish, it'll be the best decision you've ever made. And the lady that gave up her business to her husband and her son to put all her time, effort, and energy into this, she knows that this is waiting for her. She's one of the smartest ladies I have met. Even though she's very humble, she's very kind, she's very giving. But just because someone's kind and giving and conscientious and considerate and loving, it doesn't take away from her brilliance as a businesswoman. Sherry, I'm proud to be in business with you. I've learned a lot from you. This is a unique training that we decided to do. We did it, and I'll love to turn it over to you to help wrap it up because we have a meeting right after this.
Thank you so much, Muzaffar. And I just wish every one of you knew that you absolutely could be a black diamond. I wish you felt it. It's on my, a lot of you know, I have 2 full-length mirrors, for your closets in my office. And up there it says black diamond. And it says, I declare and I believe that something wonderful and prosperous is happening to me today. I say that several times a day. I know the power of the word, and all of you that are on this call need to start owning this business. The minute you start owning it and you get up in the morning, you have your calendar laid out. I have a whole month calendar on my desk. I put in every single Zoom call. I know that if I'm going to hit Black Diamond, not only do I have to be on those calls, I need to get my team and new people on those calls, because you must lead by example. Most people think that they want to be trainers, they want to come in and they want to, and that's why we admire so much Jerry Robert. This man is in the top 20 speakers in the world. He's open for Tony Robbins. He was partners with Bob Proctor. And when you start looking at his resume, for him to come in and for 3 weeks, he sat on Zoom after Zoom after Zoom taking notes, not speaking a word. He was a student. He came in here, and I'll tell you, I have the utmost respect for him, because most top people that have made millions of dollars come in with their hand out. Pay me. He didn't ask for anything. And that's why don't be afraid to talk to great people when I can't wait, because after this call, Muzaffar's going to get a chance to talk to Isaac. He has a radio voice. He's one of those guys, when he speaks, it's just like, whoo, you need to be a speaker with us, because that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm a talent scout. I'm looking for people that can help us go become $1 billion company, and it's going to happen with or without you. And it sounds rude, and I only say that to you to motivate you to be all in. I mean, I've made millions in this industry. Guess what I've got? My constant reminder, I'm all in. So when I get that negative person, which they are out there, who try to find everything wrong, we're in the pioneer stage. There's a lot that needs to be improved. There's a lot that we're working on behind the scenes. I mean, the man that just did the 7 steps, not only is he a presenter, and I know Corey's still on this call. He was asking about what his position is with the company. He doesn't even understand that this man helped design this company. The compensation plan and everything else, that was a team of people that are leaders that have all made strong 7-figure incomes, that have come together and took the best of everything they know and put it together. And that's why it was so important. The deciding decision for me was, I said to Muzaffar, I said, is your thumbprint on this company? And he's like, oh, it's a team of, I said, is your thumbprint on this company? And he said, yes. He goes, I know pretty much everything that's going on with this, and we are destined for success. And that's all I needed to hear. And for all of you, take it's called a transfer of trust. And when you start trusting this as much as we do, and you are willing to be a pioneer, because if you're not, at least lock in your position and let us go build underneath you. Because if you come back in a year or 2, guess what? You're going to have a massive team and a ton of points. That's why you must be active. And that's why I show this all the time. Your job in this business, when you want to know what your job is to help your people get their 6. And guess what? We do these presentations 9 times a week. We do trainings every Saturday by the top people in this company that have done it. There's nobody on stage that isn't a diamond and above. So you know that they've done it. And that's something that I love so much about this company, is there are no special favors. Most companies, slip money to leaders to come into the company and all this. Isaac doesn't do that. He looks at the community as a whole, and you have to earn your way to the top. And I love that. That motivates me because guess what? You are not learning from people that, it's so funny because so many people are writing books on network marketing or the MLM or direct sales or whatever, and they've not achieved the level of success that the people on this Zoom have. And it's like, Muzaffar hasn't written a book yet because he doesn't have time to write a book. I'll buy his book for sure. It'll be a top seller because he's teaching what he's done and is still doing. So for all of you that are watching this, if you're catching the replay, and everyone that's on here, make sure your team has watched this, even if they've seen a 7-step. The one thing that you need to do is watch it enough until you can teach it, and you don't let that person go until you can see that they can teach it themselves. And once you have that, then you go get a new person and a new person, and you go that repeat that over and over again. And I promise you, Black Diamond is in your reach, but it's a mindset first. You have to believe it. And and it's funny because the difference between Jerry Robert and me, I mean, he's a systems guy. I mean, has everything. He's got like everything in systems. I mean, I've got my little honestly, this is how elementary I am. I got my little sticky notes here that I put on my, each person I talk to, I put their name on here. It goes up on my wall, and I have a whole list of no's, and those are just not now for me. But those keep me motivated. I don't after almost 4 decades in this industry, if somebody says no to me, I don't even argue. I don't even try to convince a person, because if I have to convince them to get in the business, I have to convince them to get on Zoom calls, I have to convince them to go to trainings. That's too much work. I'm looking for how many billions of people are on this planet that need our program. Start thinking about them. Go look, just keep looking for yeses. Some people go, I'm counting the no's. I don't count no's. I just count yeses. I stay focused on the positive. Every trainer does different systems in here, which if you're following a system, follow that system with them. But my system is go find yeses. Go focus on those. Go focus on the people that are hungry, that want success, that believe that success is possible. Trying to convince a person, yes, we do personal development, and even if you take a whole year to get your 6, that's okay. But just keep swinging the bat. Just keep swinging. You're gonna connect, and that's why I love, Dr. Grace. I just love you on these calls, and I would say probably of all the calls we do during the week, you're probably on the majority of them, and I see you taking notes, and you are a teacher and a writer yourself, and I look at how much energy and love you give to this community, and it's like I appreciate you so much. And she has a massive team going. I mean, she's in probably at least 8-10 countries right now, and it's because she said yes. She said yes, and she's all in and willing to get trained. So for all of you, thank you so much for being on this call. And if you're watching this on replay, please understand you matter. We're building something gigantic. This will be the largest build in my career, and that's saying a lot. Rika knows. I mean, this is going to be, and we are going to do this together. And it doesn't matter if you're not in my specific team. I look at everyone in Biago as part of the team. And that's how we're going to succeed.